Okay, so I think this thing's working. Let's see here. All right, don't make fun of the hair. So, gonna do a little bit of a quick training that I had some thoughts on because I was reading something on Facebook. It was on a Christian business owners group, and it's a little frustrating to me, but it happens a lot, especially in the communities that we're in and that we deal with a lot of, okay? So, trying not to look out the window because it's a bright, sunshiny day out there, but it is frigid cold, so trying to avoid that. But, the little backstory on it. On a Christian business owners group, and I think I don't remember which one, but also on a Christian dads group. And it was a young man that had just started up a catering company and was talking about how he had done the right thing, of course, which makes sense. You know, you offer your services, you try to build your brand, you put yourself out there and you put your product and your service out there and you try to build that up so that people will come to you, so that you're not going to them and saying, hey, come, you know, give me your business, give me your business, give me your business. So you go out and you offer your services to them first, and then once they can see how good your services are, then they'll come back to you and be willing to pay for those services. So be willing to give, be willing to offer something first, something of value first, and then they'll come back to you. And he was upset, understandably so, because a lot of people, you know, they don't understand when you first starting out a business, or even, you know, you may be a veteran in business, the reviews and the referrals they put out for you are massive. And I just felt like reaching out to him and being like, come on, bro, I understand. Totally understand. It's unbelievably frustrating that people will take advantage of what you're offering, which makes sense, and then when you ask for something simple in return, they forget or they don't think about it. But here's the thing, and I you know, let him know, hey, don't be upset at them. Just don't have hard feelings. Don't get, you know, frustrated, because it's very easy to do. And I mean, when I started in business, it was unbelievable. It's just, you know, people don't understand what a service industry is. For one, they're not in it. They don't know. They're 40 and 40 people, okay, 40 hours a week, 40 years, and they're out. And that's what they think life should be like, a lot of people. So they don't understand that a review, a good review, a 5-star on there makes the difference of you getting that job or you not getting that next job. You being at the top of the review board, top of the search engine, or being 3 pages back and nobody sees you, nobody knows who you are. So they don't understand this, and letting people know is a big thing. All right, so I wanted to reach out to him and just be like, man, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take it down a notch, think this through, okay? Here's the thing, they're all busy. They're all busy. They don't know always what you got planned. They don't know always what's going on. They don't understand what that does to you and your business. So I was going to cover a little bit of this and just post it on our internal page for one. If it gets out on YouTube, I might do that later too. But just to make sure that we have this as an understanding. All right. So when I was starting out, they always talked about getting referrals from your customers, referrals from the people that you just sat down with and talked to. But a lot of times, it's not easy for them to give referrals, okay? I'm reaching back here for this. I don't know if I need this yet, but When you're sitting down with somebody across the kitchen table with them and you're talking about insurance, or you're talking about life insurance, you're talking about protection of any sort, you have just, if you've done a good job, you've just taken them through an emotional roller coaster. So their nerves and their emotions might still be a little bit raw. So saying, hey, it makes sense. A lot of people, they just want to say, hey, if you know anybody else can use me, or I can sit down and talk with them, hey, give them my name and number. That's an easy out. But that's the same thing as asking somebody for a review, okay? So I kind of came up with these ideas, and I'm going to start implementing them on our service too. So make it easy for them, all right? You have to make it easy, because people are not going to do things, especially today. I mean, right now, they're not going to do anything unless you make, I almost misspelled make. You have to make it easy. All right? Even fellow agents, sometimes we get distracted. Had a fellow agent sent me an email about going on and doing a review. Took me 3 days. I'm like, yeah, I gotta go on and do that. Yeah, I gotta go on and do that. And I keep forgetting. Okay? Make it easy. Make it simple. All right. How do we do that? Okay? Here you go. Have a QR code. You know, that silly little thing that has the little dots on it, and it just looks like one of the games my kid made, whatever. Have that QR code handy. Okay? Put it on all your paperwork. Put it on your business card. QR code. Okay? Goes right to your review site, whether it be a Google or your Yelp, make sure that you have that. Or if it's your internal site, make sure that you've got that, whether it be a QR code or your email or your just a link. Okay, make it easy on them. That's another thing here. Don't make it a long, drawn out survey. Short surveys, 3, 4, 5 questions. Okay? I'm going to tell you, I'm going to write this down and I'm going to turn around, and this is fun. Okay, here's the thing. I am always getting survey requests because I'm on all these sites, lead sites, service sites, sites to help me with this, that, and the other, and they all send out these surveys. If I go on there, and I'm in the business, okay, if I go on there and that survey keeps going and going and going and going, I'm like, I'm done. I don't have time for this. I got other things I got to get done. Okay? Make sure and preface that with them. Hey, it's short, 5, 6 questions, something like that. Hey, can you do that for me? All right? Make it short. Make it easy. Make it simple. Okay? The other thing. Stress how important. That was my shoe. That was weird. Guess I'm gonna have to get new shoes. It is to your biz. Okay? Stress how important it is to your business. Let them know, hey, This will make the difference between maybe me getting that little job or the big job, okay? Or 4, 5, 6 appointments next week. It can make the difference between me having 1 appointment or 8 appointments next week, okay? And just be honest about it. Don't overdo it, but make sure that they know how important it is. And here's the other thing. And I've since adjusted my language on this, and I'll get into that here. Make it hard not to do it. Okay? And what do I mean by that? Make it hard not to do it. And the thing that I kind of mentioned to him on the open forum was, these people better than anybody else, okay? Well, not as good as their family, but they're your church family. You know them fairly well. You see them all the time. They're your friends. They're your family. You might have a fellowship with them, and you might know them better than anybody else out there, better than their work relationships. You know how far you can kind of push that relationship and still maintain it or improve it, okay? You know what they've kind of asked of you in the past. You know kind of how far you can get on that and be like, hey man, you gotta help me out. You got to, okay? Make it hard on them not to do it. And I'm not saying guilt trip them to the point of frustration. I'm saying make it to the point where they know, hey, I'm not getting compensation for this. This is the minimum that I expect. I'm not putting dollar bills in my pocket from what I'm doing for you, okay? I just want a few words online. Straightforward, simple, easy, all right? Make it hard for them to say no to you, all right? And this is going to come up when you get further into a business sort of relationship with everybody. You're going to have to be able to sell this stuff and make it hard for people to say no, all right? And whether that be based on price, based on relationship, based on benefits you're offering, based on knowing what they want and being able to give it to them. But at this point, you provided a service. Make it hard for them to tell you, no, I don't want to go online and fill out your survey. I don't want to go on and do your silly survey. Okay? How do we do that? How do we do this? Okay? And I look at this and I'm like, oh my goodness, my handwriting really have to work on that, don't I? So it's going to be different than asking for referrals in a sales industry. It's so much easier, okay? And depending on what product that I or service that I provided to somebody, it changes how I go through this, but it's pretty straightforward and simple, all right? It's not a difficult thing once you really start talking to these people. But like with insurance, like I said, you've just gone through the roller coaster. What's going to happen if you die, sort of thing. They're all kind of stressed out about, I'm going to die one day. You've had to bring them to the precipice where they've faced their mortality, and then you bring them back. Or if it's auto insurance, home insurance, what's going to happen if your house gets blown over by the tornadoes coming through the Midwest here, right? I'm facing that emotional distress concept. And then you've provided them with the security and the assurance of it and the protection. And at that point, they're kind of relieved and they're coming down off that precipice. They're not hanging over that cliff anymore if you've done your job right. But it's still emotions are kind of raw sometimes. So saying, hey, who do you know I need to go sit down with? And they're like, my mind and my emotions are a little spent right now, and you're asking for names and numbers? Come on. So the easy way around that, and we can get into that later, but it just a little hint on that. Some of it, it's not, well, who do you know? Oh, well, I know everybody, man. I know this person, he's in a movie. I know this person, he's on a commercial. I know this person. So they'll just start throwing out random names, instead of, okay, granted, you don't have Brad Pitt's phone number in your book. I know that, in your phone. Okay, I know that. So I'm not going to just say, hey, who do you know? I'm going to say, so this is a relief on you, isn't it? Yeah. Who do you think you're going to be talking to about it? Who's the first person you think you're going to tell? Oh, your dad? Yeah, that's probably a good one to tell. Tell you what, do you think he could benefit from sitting down and talking to me? Yeah. Well, he might already have that in place. I don't know. Do you? Has he told you? Well, then maybe I should talk to him about it. You got his name and number? Oh, okay. Well, would it be all right if I just, when I call him tomorrow, I'll say, hey, Johnny, your son, said it's okay for me to call you. I sat down and helped him out. Who else do you think you'd tell about this? Getting this all taken care of. You think you would tell your sister, your brother, your cousin? Something like that. But make it conversational, all right? So that's an easy way to get referrals. Got a good amount of referrals that way, okay? Now the other thing, for reviews, that's kind of what we're talking about. For reviews, one, here is where people tend to fail. Hey, I'm going to send you a quick a link so that you can go on my Facebook or you can go on my Yelp and do a quick review. Is that all right? Can you do that for me? Yeah. You're going to get 1 to 3%. Why? Because people forget. People are like, oh yeah, I got that. Oh, it's ringing. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. They get distracted really easy these days, right? So they're not going to do it. Pretty simple statement. They're not going to do it. They're just going to forget. And it's not because they have anything against you. It's not because, oh, they looked at me funny in service last week. Or, he didn't shake my hand. Or, he was picking his nose before he shook my hand in service. If you're doing that, stop. Seriously. That's not why they do that. It's because people get distracted. People forget. My own wife forgets half the time. Okay? It's simple distraction and busyness in life. And it's not affecting them, so they're not thinking about it. So here's how we're going to fix that. Okay? Remember, point one, make it simple. Make it easy. So here's how we do that. Okay? When you walk up to them, you see them the next time you see them, you say, hey, I really appreciate you guys coming to the event and and did a great job, right? You guys like that? And I like doing that for the church. That was a fun thing for me to do. But for my business, we didn't get compensated for it. So the only thing that I ask is, did you get that link that I sent to you? You did? Oh, here, tell you what. I've got it here. Let me send it to you again to make sure. Did you get it? I just sent it to you. Did you get it? That was intentional. That little pause was intentional. That expected dumbfounded look on my face, I know it's always there, but hey, is intentional. You send it to them when they're standing there. I got this off of and I've used it. I got it off of a podcast. I saw a guy doing stump removal. If he can do it standing at your door, don't you think you could do it with your friends standing in the vestibule of the church? Send them the link. Send the link as you're looking at them. Seems pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Stand there and look at them expectantly. Need more coffee. Just be like, hey, you got it there? You did? It's only 3 questions, man. Is it all right? I'd really appreciate a 5-star. So you know your relationship with those individuals better than I do. Some people are like, I don't want to do that. If they pull it out and start doing it right then, just like, hey, I just heard your phone ding. You got it, right? Was that your phone playing AC/DC in the middle of the church? Or was that the 80s cartoon ringtone? Right? So that's the thing. Make sure they got it. This is your phone number, right? I just sent it to you. Okay. So they know you expect it. Make sure they know you expect it to be done. Okay? Be clear about your expectations. Okay? Here's the thing. If they say anything other than, oh, yeah, all right, hey, let me get that done for you right now. If they say, here's the big thing. Ask them, what could I have done better to either make this easier? Okay. Or help get more, not say reviews, get more 5-star reviews. Okay? What could I have done better to either make this easier or get more 5-star reviews? That's basically telling them, hey, I'm expecting a 5-star review. If they say anything other than, hey,